what I wanted us to talk about today is, how do you start a meditation practice? Right? You're here potentially because you've wanted to start one, but haven't known where to start or found it quite daunting. And I'm here to dispel some pretty common myths and misconceptions about mindfulness and meditation, and be honest with you about what my practice looks like, what it doesn't look like, and where you can start. Because that's always the hardest thing about any new practice, whether it's meditation or yoga or trying a new sport for the first time, like whatever it is. Starting is the hardest point. You have this impetus, this energy, you have to get over the hill of going from not doing it to at least trying it for the first time. So let's dig in. I want to dispel at the top one of the more pervasive common misconceptions about meditation. I had this myself before I started, which is that meditation is not clearing of the mind. That was one of the biggest initial barriers for me. Was I had this belief that in order to meditate correctly and properly, and of course I wanted to meditate correctly, I didn't want to get it wrong, is that I had to sit down and clear my mind of all thoughts. Practically impossible to go from a really crazy, busy mind where I have lots of thoughts over the course of the day. And before I started mindfulness and meditation, I had no real control over what those thoughts really were about or what I chose to focus on, right? So the idea of going from a totally uncontrolled and unrestrained mind and thinking to absolutely nothing, insurmountably challenging. What I want you to tell you today is that meditation is not about clearing your mind, not in the way you think. Rather, how I frame meditation for my yoga students is more of giving the mind an object of focus, something to focus on or about that you can come back to that isn't thought. And there are different approaches and practices when it comes to meditation. This is just one, but to have an object of meditation. More often than not, for me, this is the breath as an object of meditation. I'm focusing on the inhale and on the exhale. This could also be a literal physical object in front of you, a flickering candle, for example, or a piece of stone. It also could be within the mind. Observing the thoughts as they come and go is an object, or an orb of glowing light is an object within the mind. Less that meditation is about clearing my mind of all thought, and more that meditation is the focus of the mind on an object, in this case, the object of the breath. Another misconception I'll address is that meditation has to have this really complicated setup. Not the case at all. So if you're just getting started, what you need is you need to elevate your hips above your knees and your feet, right? So you can sit comfortably. All that is to say, and it's a fancy way of saying sit on something comfortable. Maybe it's a pillow or two, so you elevate your hips and you can comfortably feel, right, the pelvis tilted and you can sit tall. If for some reason sitting tall just is never comfortable for you in your body, you could take it lying down. Where I run into a challenge with this is I fall asleep. I get really sleepy the moment I lie down. So if you tend to fall asleep when you lie down, then sitting up will help you. Doesn't have to be fancy. Take a pillow or two off your bed and move it into another room. Let the bedroom be the room for sleep, and find another space in your house that's quiet and where you can have 5-10 minutes to yourself. Another way to address the challenges of starting a meditation practice is carving out the time. We're busy. Our lives are chock full to the brim with responsibilities and activities and things that we have to do pretty much from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but I'll highlight again here, is I have to fit my meditation in the morning. And the first thing that I do pretty much every day Or else I make excuses. I don't make time for it. Oh, I'm hungry. I need to eat breakfast. Or, oh, now I have this call for work. I have to do this. I have to do that. And then before you know it, it's the end of the day. And while you could meditate at the end of your day, you won't see the same kind of focus and attentive benefits that you'll see from meditating at the beginning, at the top. You won't see immense, like, leaps and bounds progress all the time. There's a certain level of, and this is something that longtime meditation practitioners and teachers will talk about, is a sense almost of nostalgia for the beginning of meditation practice. The beginner's mind, as you'll hear it called, is looked upon with such fondness. And I feel this in a way in my own practice of when you're starting meditation, where you're taking the mind from and to is so distinctly and drastically different. Any change in awareness is immense. So to go from not having any awareness of the mind, the thoughts, to suddenly having an awareness of the thoughts in your mind, it's almost hard to describe. So there's this nostalgia for the beginner's mind of going from the not knowing to that initial knowing. And then what I found is you'll meditate consistently. You'll sit down on the meditation cushion, you'll do your practice, and some days you feel the way you want to feel about it. Right? So we come in with these preconceived notions and desires for what we expect or want out of the practice. So sometimes you come in, you're like, I want to be calm and focused for my day. You go in, you meditate, bing, bang, boom. And that's how you feel when you leave. More often than not, though, there's really no control, as the practice really teaches us about the true nature of control. There's really no control in how you feel when you sit down to meditate on the cushion. Sometimes you feel the way you want to feel. Other times things come up. There are distractions, there are noise, you get interrupted, right? And it doesn't quite go the way you want. But know that the act of showing up every single day for the practice is so valuable and so necessary. But to go from not meditating to meditating, make it consistent, get it out of the way early in the morning, and make it something you enjoy, something you have to look forward to. Maybe that's lighting your favorite candle or having some sort of ritual around the practice of it. I will go into our yoga space and kind of set the mood, right? I turn on my salt lamp. I have like this glowy light that I have going. Maybe I'll light a little incense and then I'll sit down to meditate. I think that there's some debate within the yoga community on whether or not this is true meditation. But for me, I like having a timed and guided meditation to give me some structure around the act of sitting down and doing it, to give me a time frame that isn't interrupted by my phone timer being the end of the time. And so for me personally, and this is not sponsored in any way, I use Headspace. So Headspace I've been using since the beginning, and more often than not, I do their guided meditations. Sometimes I'll do their walking meditations. They have some cute little coffee walk meditations, or they have kind of unguided and timered practices. So for me, Headspace works. There's a lot of meditation apps out there. Calm does a really great one. And Dan Harris, I believe it's called the 10% app with Dan Harris, has really great meditation teachers come on and do guided meditations as well. Wake up early, make it consistent, make it enjoyable, and have some guidelines around how long and the structure so that you know somewhat what to expect. If you're a total beginner, like I said, there's this beauty to being a total novitiate at something, to be totally new to a practice that is so rich and has millennia of practice, of writing, of philosophy, of theory behind it. You're embarking upon this glorious, lovely journey, tapping into your own true heart and desire and what motivates you. I found it to be truly, and I don't mean this in the literal enlightenment sense, but truly enlightening into the person I am and how I want to show up in the world and kind of set my expectations for the day. Questions that I'll get from my yoga students when it comes to the meditation element of the classes that I teach is a concern that they'll do it wrong. And my reassurance to you is that no one will know. It's in your head. You're going through this meditation in your mind. And so there's no doing it wrong in the showing up, in the attention to your breath, in the taking that moment to pause for a moment in your day. Another tip to starting your meditation journey or restarting your meditation journey is to find a buddy to do it with. Maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your roommate, but someone in your life who can kind of hold you accountable. And you don't even have to live in the same space necessarily, but set an intention with this person. Hey, I'm going to meditate every morning this week. And then check back in with that person at the end of the week to see how you both did. And be honest, right? Chances are pretty good. Something will have come up you won't have done a day, maybe two. But having an accountability partner can be the difference between saying you'll do the thing and then actually doing the thing. One comment about verbiage that I'll mention here is, what's the difference between meditation and mindfulness? I've heard it described a few different ways. Meditation to me is the millennia-old practice that we've been talking about in this video that I've described up till now. It's the act often of sitting and focusing on the object of focus, like the breath. Mindfulness is, I would say, meditation light. It's very buzzy. You'll hear about it a lot in kind of the wellness influencer spaces. It might be a little more digestible, and you won't run into maybe some of the same abstruse concepts of the mind and of the philosophy behind it, but mindful living gets applied super broadly. From cleaning your house mindfully to, walking mindfully. Like, I would say it's a bit more broad, a little more approachable, a little more accessible. Not that that's a bad thing, but what does get a little lost is the depth and the richness of the practice. So if everything can be done mindfully, how do you know you're doing it unmindfully? So that's a bit of a note on verbiage. Meditation to me has more of an intentionality behind it. They're often, for me in my practice, is an act of sitting down and doing and focusing. And whereas mindfully or mindful, fill in the blank, has a bit more passivity to me. But comment below what you think the difference between mindfulness and meditation is. I think they're related. I'm thinking in a way of the ways in which meditation has changed my life. It's so paired for me with my yoga practice and becoming a yoga teacher. So it's hard to separate those two things for me, but it's hard to put in words just how transformative this practice can be. On a small scale example, I never used to listen to the lyrics of songs. I don't know where my head was. I would listen to the melody, but would never track or gauge the fact that there were lyrics to this song. After I started meditating, maybe 6 months in or a year in to meditating, and I started small, we're talking like 3 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 1 minute a day. I went from not noticing that songs had words to noticing that songs had words. What this signifies to me is the ability to listen and actually be present in the life as I was leading it. This wasn't possible for me before meditation. Maybe you have some example for yourself of ways in your life that you're just kind of like gliding through. You're not really paying attention. Sometimes it's like, oh, you drive home and you can't remember driving home. Things like that. In a more rich and deep meaningful way in my life. Yes, it's about song lyrics, but it's also about the act of listening to a friend when she's telling me an important story that she needs me to really listen to and be present for. Because I meditate, I can be present for the people who matter most in my life, friends and family and chosen family. What does it mean to truly be available to the people in your life that means so much to you, and really, truly, honestly listen and not just anticipate what they're going to say so that you can respond, or anticipate what they say so that you can respond with a similar scenario and kind of make it about you. I've also noticed since I started meditating that I have less patience for myself with getting sucked into the social media doom scroll. I've written about this before, and I have some videos and blog content that I'll link below that I've thought a lot about. This is, how addicted are we to our phones? How do we really spend our time and attention? This for me is a question that meditation brought up. When I think about my day and how I want to spend my time moment to moment, day to day, and the broader scope of my life, I don't want to look back and say I scrolled through a lot of videos on social media. So I've enacted some pretty clear and firm boundaries for myself on how I use social media. I always take weekends off of social, and in my mind that's Instagram in particular for me. Yours might be different. TikTok, Reddit, Substack, right? Pick your poison. Starting to meditate made me notice how I defaulted to spending my time and energy. And the default, of course, I mean, these applications are designed to be fun and addictive in a way. I mean, they're not in the DSM-5, but maybe the 6. We'll see how they get qualified and classified. But how do you spend your time? How do you go from continuous action to being able to pause, see, and decide to make either that action again or a different action? The example again, right, is you're scrolling from video to video, spending anywhere from 3 to 30 seconds on a video at a time. Your meditation practice will make you aware of this continuous decision you're making. If it's not you in your brain being able to stop and have the willpower to stop, which these apps are not designed for your willpower to work against. If it's not that, maybe it's your pet interrupting you, your partner, your kid, your friend. What is that moment that jolts you into awareness? So if you've ever had the thought, oh, I'm spending too much time on my phone, your meditation practice will give you that place to reevaluate. I'll leave you with this. Think about your new and budding meditation practice as an exciting beginning. Think about the ways in which it will free your mind to reconsider how you currently think and approach your life. Your meditation practice, the journey you're starting now, is one that will follow you for your entire life. It won't be I meditated every day for a week and I'm done, I'm never doing it again. Right? This is a practice you will come back to again and again and again, and you'll need different things from your practice across your life. Maybe it's seated right now and it's laying down next year. And in 5 years, it's a walking meditation. And in 10 years, it's a silent retreat. Who knows where this journey will take you, but I'm glad you're here with me right now. And just think of all the ways in which you can make an active choice in the person you are and how you show up in your life. Meditation is a huge part of that for me in my life. And I'm glad you're embarking upon this journey alongside me. If you have any questions about meditation you want to toss in the comments, go ahead. And if you want to see more content like this, meditation, yoga, book review content, those are the kinds of things you'll find from me on my channel. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.